Joined now by our panelists, Republican strategist Brian Robinson, the president of Robinson Republic, and Democratic strategist Bobby Kaple. Thank you very much for being here, both of you. Well, let's get back to the abortion issue. It's very personal, obviously, for people on both sides of the issue. Let's talk about the politics. How much does what happened this week sort of change the dynamics here in Georgia, do you think?
Well, where the timing really matters, 3 weeks before a primary, you had all of these Republican candidates doing debates this week, one of which you moderated, the U.S. Senate debate for the Republicans. And they're put in a spot where they are going before the most conservative electorate in the entire state in the Republican primary. And so you see them taking stands, calling for a complete ban across the board. I wonder if it would be that answer if this debate had been in the summer, after those primaries. That said, this is something that's very important for Republicans, and for many Republicans, it's beyond politics. What was said in the debate that you moderated, this is about human life. This is about preserving God's creation. And when that's your calculation, that's a bigger calculation than politics for many of these candidates.
Okay. Is there some advantage, Bobby, for Democrats in all of this, given the fact that Americans and Georgians in particular are both 68% favor a right to abortion with restriction?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting how Brian characterized it as something that's more important than politics. The same goes on the Democratic side. I mean, this is about, we view this as an issue between a woman and her doctor, and that is private information in a woman and her body. And so this goes far beyond politics on the Democratic side as well. I think it'll be interesting to see what this does for turnout in the Democratic primary, just to see if it juices it, because where we were heading in before this leak happened, I'm going to just put it out there. Democrats were in deep trouble, okay? Deep trouble in the House of Representatives for a number of different reasons that had the book stacked against them because of redistricting in several states across the country. You saw it right here in Georgia with the 6th District and the 7th District, Lucy McBath having to go over to the 7th District, and Republicans picking up a seat in Georgia. Well, if that's happening in several states across the country, the deck was already stacked. So the question now is, does this change the equation? I think we'll see in a couple of weeks when the polling starts to come out on this, but this is the first issue I've seen and heard Democrats talk about recently. Voting rights was big for a period of time, and now this is taken over as the issue that everybody's talking about in the Democratic Party, and I believe it will turn out more people to the polls than would have done had this not happened in the first place. So okay. I think it's a big deal.
Now, if the Supreme Court follows through and does away with Roe versus Wade, obviously the abortion issue goes back to the states, and state lawmakers make the decision. I'll bet you a lot of Georgians don't know who their state representative or state senator is. It makes those races far more important, does it not?
What's going to happen in Georgia if, in fact, Roe v. Wade is rolled back? Let me remind people, this does not criminalize abortion, this decision. It does give the power to the states. Well, in Georgia, that means that the heartbeat law would take effect. I would imagine that there is a consensus amongst many Republicans in the General Assembly and maybe in the governor's office as well, that the heartbeat bill, which is a very conservative law, is good enough, and that's a good place to keep it. No one's come out and said that at this juncture, but don't be surprised if that's where they end up. Now, on the politics, a lot of this is baked in already. Pro-life Republicans, pro-choice Democrats. Right. It may mobilize them. It'll help Democrats with fundraising, but it also may cause them to over-focus on that one issue at a time of economic anxiety. I think that would be a mistake.
Bobby, what do you think?
Well, look, I think this is actually where it plays. I think now it takes these, you talk about state house races, state senate races, but the gubernatorial race all of a sudden takes on huge meaning, not just here in Georgia, but across the country in all of these gubernatorial races, because it's going to be the states that are deciding these abortion restrictions and laws. And so I think if I was Brian Kemp going into 3 weeks out from the primary a week ago, I would say, boy, I like this setup. You got David Perdue making me look more centrist to the Democratic audience when he goes to a general. All of a sudden, if this becomes a referendum on the heartbeat bill, that is not an issue that Brian Kemp wants to talk about. I know he might want to talk about it to his base. It's not something you want to talk about when 68% of people in Georgia don't agree with it.
All right. You saw some of the contentiousness between Brad Raffensperger and Jody Hice in that Republican Secretary of State debate. I sat down this week with Jody Hice. My extended interview with him is after this break.